Today, we're diving into PC racing wheels of 2024. Whether you're new to racing games or a pro, we've got the wheel for you. We've got easy to use wheels for starters and great deals that won't empty your wallet. Each wheel has its special use, and we're here to help you find the perfect one. And don't worry about searching for them. We've got all the links you need in the description below. So let's get rolling and find the best wheel to make your racing games even more fun. Ready, set, go. At number 8, we have a treat for all the Mario Kart enthusiasts. The Hori Mario Kart Racing Wheel Pro Deluxe. This wheel isn't just about nostalgia. It's about bringing the thrill of the race to your fingertips, whether you are on the Switch or PC. Adorned with a vibrant red hue and the iconic M logo, it's a piece that'll make any Nintendo fan's heart race faster. And while it might not nab the trophy for best in show against the high-end models, it's the go-to wheel for a fun-filled racing experience. Now let's dive into the specs. It's USB connected, lightweight at just 1400 grams, and offers a 270-degree rotation angle. It comes with pedals, but no clutch or expandability, keeping it simple and focused. But the real turbo boost comes from its customization options and quality of build. For $100, you get a wheel that gives you precision control, especially on those tight Mario Kart corners. You can even downshift to 180 degrees for those hairpin turns. What you won't find are high-end features like force feedback, but Hori doesn't skimp on resistance. The wheel and pedal feel responsive, providing a surprisingly satisfying driving experience. Now for some speed bumps. The suction cups may struggle to stick the landing, and if you are experienced with racing wheels, you might crave more under the hood. But for the casual racer looking to level up their Mario Kart game, this wheel might just be the perfect co-pilot. At its price point, it's hard to find a wheel that's not just functional, but genuinely enjoyable. The Hori Mario Kart Racing Wheel Pro Deluxe offers a fantastic lap around the track for the price of a game. So if you're ready to throw some bananas and dodge some shells in style, this might just be your starting line. At number 7, we're talking about the Thrustmaster T128, the wheel that promises to shift your racing from zero to hero, especially if you're just joining the sim racing circuit. Let's dive into what makes the T128 the pit crew's choice for beginners. It boasts a full 900-degree rotation and is equipped with 13 buttons, ensuring you won't be left wanting for control options. Though it comes with a simpler 2-pedal setup, it's a pedal to the metal experience for those new to the race. When it comes to value, the T128 doesn't skid off the track. It offers decent force feedback, giving you enough resistance and response to feel each turn and twist of the track, without overwhelming those just learning the ropes. Design-wise, it's a no-frills affair, but with dashes of red to add a bit of flair to its compact and functional form, Thrustmaster has crafted a wheel that looks ready for the race, even if it's parked in your living room. Feature-filled, yet budget-friendly, the T128 doesn't skip where it counts. LED rev lights and magnetic gear paddles are usually reserved for higher-tier wheels, so their presence here is a checkered flag for value. Now let's be clear, this isn't a wheel you'd find in a professional racer's rig. The plastic wheel and pedals won't mimic the feel of their higher end cousins, and if you've had your hands on more premium models before, you'll notice the difference. But for the beginners out there, this is your starting grid. If you're not ready to invest in a setup that could cost more than your car, and you're looking for a solid starting point, the Thrustmaster T128 is a worthy contender. In the end, it's all about crossing the finish line, and for those who are just starting their engines, the T128 ensures you do it with enough control and feedback to make each race a thrilling chase. If you're looking to get a real feel for the track without breaking the bank, you might want to steer towards the Thrustmaster T128. Revving into number 6, we have the Logitech G920 Driving Force, the wheel that brings the professional driving experience to your home without burning rubber on your budget. Perfect for Xbox One and PC racers, the G920 is a testament to Logitech's legacy in the racing wheel arena. It's the seasoned driver of the group, capable of delivering podium-worthy performances that earn it the respect of gamers and sim racers alike. Let's get into the gear. The G920 is a powerhouse, offering a whopping 1080 degrees of rotation, smooth as silk steering action, and a force feedback system that's as powerful as it is precise. Design-wise, the G920 sports a hand-stitched leather wheel and stainless steel gear paddles, features that eclipse its mid-range price tag. The pedals are compact enough for any living room setup and are built to last with stainless steel faceplates. On the dashboard, you'll find all the standard Xbox controller buttons within thumb's reach. The dual motor force feedback is ready to throw down 2.1 Newton meters of torque, giving you that impressive feel whether you are cornering at high speeds or navigating different terrains. As for the ride itself, the G920 delivers an experience that's both thrilling and accessible. The force feedback is gutsy, the paddle shifters snap back with satisfying clicks, and the pedals demand a firm foot, particularly the non-linear brake that may just challenge your leg day. It's not all green lights though. Some may find the brake pedal a tad stiff, and if you're looking for the ultra premium premium features like True Force, you'll have to look further up the grid. So if your racing circuit is the comfort of your living room and you're not quite ready for the pit stop expenses of a pro setup, the Logitech G920 driving force is your ticket to the track. In the end, for those starting their sim racing journey or looking for a reliable upgrade without the premium price tag, the Logitech G920 driving force is a wheel that won't steer you wrong. Taking the pole position at number 5, we have the Logitech G923, a titan of torque in the mid-range market that promises to rev up your racing experience without skidding over your budget. With a sleek design that pays homage to its predecessors, the G923 is all about what's under the hood. It maintains a classic look with its leather trim, giving it that race-ready feel the moment you grip it. But what really puts the pedal to the metal is the cutting-edge True Force feedback technology. This isn't just any rumble, it's a direct line to the game's physics, delivering a real-time high-fidelity response that'll make every drift, every turn feel like you're truly on the track. Equipped with 16 programmable buttons and a solid 900 degree of rotation, the G923 doesn't just perform, it adapts. The G-Hub software is the pit crew in your PC, letting you fine-tune your controls to your exact preferences. Now, True Force is a game changer, but it's worth noting it's only compatible with a select few games for now. And while you won't find a handbrake input or a stick shift in the box, what you will find is an accessible path to pro-level performance. If you're a PC racer looking for an affordable yet powerful wheel, or a PlayStation pilot aiming for the apex of immersive gaming, the G923 is calling your name. To put it simply, at this price point, the Logitech G923's performance is hard to top. The force feedback is robust enough to make a racer's heart race, yet it's tame enough to require a separate racing rig. And when you hit a game that supports True Force, you'll feel every bump, every slipstream, as if you were in the driver's seat for real. So whether you're burning rubber in a casual race or gearing up for a more serious simulation, the Logitech G923 is your co-driver, your mechanic, and your biggest fan, all rolled into one high-performance package. Coming in hot at number 4 is the Thrustmaster T300 RS, a favorite in the pit lane for those seeking a grip on the most intense force feedback the market has to offer. The wheel is a champion for PlayStation and PC racers alike, offering a sturdy build, a generous 1080 degrees of wheel rotation, and a force feedback system that's nothing short of electrifying. Under the hood, the T300 RS boasts force feedback that's so responsive, you'll feel every twist of the track and every ripple of the road. It's this intense feedback that makes it the wheel of choice for the racer who wants to feel every gear shift, every corner, and every overtake. With official compatibility across a roster of racing titles, you'll have the edge whether you are chasing checkered flags in Project Cars 2, mastering hairpins in Gran Turismo, or pushing the pedal to the metal in F1. Now, every race has its quirks. For the T300 RS, the handbrake functionality is a button press away, which might test your dexterity in rally games. And while you're just burning rubber on the virtual track, the wheel's motor might kick out some heat, but that's just a testament to the power under its belt. So if you're geared up for serious sim racing and want force feedback that packs a punch without punching a hole in your wallet, the T300 RS is waiting at the starting line for you. In the driving seat, the T300 RS doesn't just simulate, it immerses. It turns every session into a battle of skill, with a wheel that dances in your hands and pedals that demand your full attention. For the dedicated racer who doesn't shy away from a strong handshake with their gaming gear, the Thrustmaster T300 RS offers a high-octane racing experience that's hard to top. It's more than a wheel, it's your ticket to the heart of the race. Accelerating into our top 3, meet the Thrustmaster TMX force feedback racing wheel, the champion of budget-friendly racing gear that doesn't skimp on the immersive experience. Designed for both Xbox One and PC drivers, the TMX is a lightweight contender in the racing wheel arena, but don't let its weight fool you. It's a solid performer that's here to prove that the best things aren't always the heaviest or the most expensive. Let's talk about force feedback. The TMX may not pack the same punch as its high-end siblings, but it delivers genuine dynamic responses that bring every in-game collision and corner to life. Yes, the pedals might feel a bit plasticky, and there's no clutch pedal to be found, but remember, this is the entry ticket to the force feedback club. It's about getting you behind the wheel without breaking the bank. And here's the kicker, the TMX is expandable, so as your skills grow and your wallet allows, you can swap in higher end pedals or add that much needed clutch. This is the wheel for the budding sim racer making their first foray onto the track, or for anyone who believes in smart spending without compromising the thrill of the race. On the performance front, the TMX brings enough force feedback to make each race a visceral, gripping journey, from the tarmac of a high-speed circuit to the dusty bends of a rally stage. So if you're looking to dive into sim racing world without drowning in cost, the Thrustmaster TMX force feedback is your trusty co-driver, ready to take you from the garage to the finish line with money still in your pocket. Speeding into the second spot with the precision of a finely tuned engine is the Logitech G Pro racing wheel, the crown jewel of Logitech's racing arsenal and a testament to what a premium wheel can deliver. deliver. Boasting a full 1080 degrees of rotation and a dashboard of 25 buttons, the G Pro is the dream setup for those who take their sim racing as seriously as a pit stop in Monaco. Under its hood lies an 11 Nm torque motor. That's like having the strength of a race car's engine in your hands, offering a force feedback that's as powerful as it is smooth. The wheel's not just about raw power, it's about the finesse of its leather wrap and the solid click of its magnetic gear shift paddles. Every detail, from the brushed metal faceplate to the dual paddles, screams high quality. And customization, the G Pro takes it to the next level. With its OLED screen, you can tweak your racing experience down to the minutest detail, whether that's adjusting torque or switching profiles on the fly. Now let's not gloss over the fact that this is a premium product with the price tag to match. It's an investment into your racing rig, and while the construction may have more plastic than some would like, the performance it delivers is undisputably top tier. If you're someone who's clocked countless laps and is looking to shave off milliseconds on your time, the G Pro is your weapon of choice. It's not for the faint of wallet, but for those ready to take the leap. It's a game changer. From the immersive True Force technology to the load cell brake pedal that demands precision, racing with the G Pro is like being strapped into the cockpit of an F1 car. Every turn, every texture of the track is felt with an intensity that brings the virtual to life. In the end, the Logitech G Pro racing wheel isn't just about racing. It's about conquering the circuit, feeling every heartbeat of your car, and pushing the boundaries of home sim racing to their absolute limits. Cruising into the top spot with the confidence of a champion is the Thrustmaster T248, hailed as the best PC racing wheel for those who want to merge high-end features with practical value. The wheel isn't just about turning laps, it's about turning heads. With its 900-degree rotation, 25 programmable buttons, and a suite of adjustable pedals, the T248 has become the standard bearer for quality in the virtual racing world. At its core is a force feedback system so powerful it'll make every overtake and every defensive maneuver feel like you're out of the asphalt, battling for every inch. The T248 isn't just a wheel, it's a command center. With dual encoder controls, magnetic paddle gear changers, and an LED telemetry display, it's equipped to put you at the heart of the race, giving you the data you need to dominate. Customization is the name of the game here. Whether it's remapping buttons to fine-tune your race strategy or adjusting the brake pedal's pressure to match your driving style, the T248 gives you the tools to tailor your ride. When it comes to performance, the wheel delivers a symphony of speed and precision. The feedback is finely tuned, creating a sense of realism that makes every race not just a game, but an event. Now, no champion is without its challenges. The brake pedal may require a firm foot, and if you are flooring it on a hard surface, you might find the pedal base wanting for grip. And while it's not the priciest wheel on the track, it's certainly not playing in the kiddie pool. If you're someone who's already cut their teeth on racing wheels and you are looking to upgrade your rig to something that balances performance with price, the Thrustmaster T248 is your finish line. To sum it up, the Thrustmaster T248 isn't just the best PC racing wheel overall. It's a testament to what sim racing can be when you bring together powerful performance, thoughtful design, and a cockpit full of features. For the racer ready to take it all, the T248 is your wheel, your trophy, and your glory. And that's a wrap on our turbocharged tour of the best PC racing wheels for 2024. We hope you found the perfect match to fuel your need for speed and elevate your gaming setup. Remember, all the wheels we talked about today are linked down below, so click away and get ready to take the driver's seat. If you enjoyed this ride, give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more awesome gaming gear guides. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep racing and stay ahead of the curve.